Good evening, and welcome to Lee Judges TV. Well, listen, what we've got to say today is it is normally talking with Kevin Campbell, but or chatting with Kevin Campbell, whatever you like. But Kevin Campbell, as you can see, is not here. Right?
He's not present, Lee. He's not
present. He's not present. And the reason he's not present is because he's on a charity event in Germany, which I didn't know about until today. Because Dave forgot to tell everybody when Kevin messaged him to say that he wouldn't be available because he was on a charity doing in Germany. Yeah. So for punishment, Dave, we decided that you've come in on as
I'm replacing Kevin Campbell,
as you are now replacing Kevin Campbell. Yeah,
as a neutral,
yeah,
and Liverpool or Arsenal fan.
This is great because even though you're a big part of the Lee Judges TV, you are not an Arsenal fan, are you?
No, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a Real Madrid
fan. Tell
fan.
Everybody what team you support.
I support Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, like, you know. And why do you support Real Madrid?
Because my mother is Spanish. And the reason being behind Real Madrid is, my whole family in Tenerife are diehard. Literally, if you look at their walls, everything is littered in Real Madrid kits. Memorabilia, Raul, everybody. So, unfortunately, today I'm replacing Kevin Campbell as a neutral. And there we have. But let me explain my side of the story a little bit. So I thought Kevin Campbell was only saying he's not going to be available on Thursday because, behold, as you will see tomorrow, we have official promo released for Manscaped. And I thought, because I was only delivering it to Kevin Campbell, he's Manscaped.
What, personally?
No, not personally. No, the Royal Mail. The Royal Services of Royal Mail. First class delivery, and they missed this delivery 5 times. So, unfortunately, yes, I do know Polymotion about Arsenal. I used to work with AFTV, so I'm fully embedded into Arsenal as a producer. So yeah, sorry.
It's your second.
It is my English team. Yeah, if I would like to call it, it is my English team. So I'm fully on the knowledge about Arsenal. So Skegness Dave today, guys, is joining you. Big old Skeggs is joining you instead of Kevin Campbell. So I'm glad and delighted to be on board with you this time, Lee.
Yeah,
instead of behind the scenes, doing all pressing all the buttons.
Instead of behind the scenes, and of course, we had a busy day today, haven't we?
We have had a busy day.
Been doing the promo for the Manscaped advertisement and promo video that was out, I think, tomorrow. Is that correct?
It is out tomorrow, yes. We're going to be launching the promo for Manscaped along with your individual, like we did this for Spurs, the Spurs game, your individual Premier League analysis of the game coming up between Liverpool and Arsenal. Today is a little bit of a, let's say, just talking about, obviously, with everybody in the chat who's joining us. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, a little chat with everybody talking about Liverpool, Arsenal. But tomorrow is your official solo Liverpool versus Arsenal.
We've done it against Spurs and it done really well. Do you remember we done it outside the Emirates?
It did, yeah. Everybody loved it. So we decided to do it again. This time in the studio. It's getting a bit colder, Lee. It's getting a bit colder. It's getting a bit chilly.
Yeah, it was.
It's getting a bit chilly.
Nice and warm in that studio, though, and that's how I like it. Like I see a couple of guys for Robbie doing some work today at the Emirates, and they look very, very cold. We was all nicely warmed up in the studio. Nice cup of coffee from Pret as well. You bought me. Thank you very much for that. And
no worries.
And a croissant as well, which was very, very nice. And then I spilled it all over me Manscaped box, didn't I? You know what I mean? Like, all over.
Exactly.
You know, not a great advertisement for the balls, but there you go.
No, not very good for the balls. Yeah.
Not very.
You want to keep your balls clean, Lee.
Yeah, you want to keep your balls clean. You don't want coffee over them, like
no, not at all.
Especially when you've been using Manscaped, there's not much protection there, like, you know what I mean? Like straight onto the old sack.
Oh, that beautiful toner.
Oh,
the toner. What a smell.
I recommend anybody to get the toner.
Yeah, just the toner by itself smells good.
You get a toner, you may get you get this toner, you're guaranteed to get a boner. I'll tell you, like, that's what it's like.
That's a good one, actually. Nobody's capping that. Nobody's getting that.
No. It is unbelievable. Like, the smell of it's really good. Like, and my balls have been treated to a magnificence.
Yeah, but officially we're starting to promote the promotion tomorrow. So I think Lee, the floor is all yours. Time to get on with the show.
Okay, like, you know what I mean? So, very, very good. Like, right, Arsenal, Liverpool, and it is, of course, at Anfield. We've got a Liverpool fan coming on about 9:30, so should we look forward to what we're going to say about that? But we're going to do it from the Arsenal point of view. I'm really looking forward to the game, Dave. I don't as a Real Madrid fan, what's your take of this game? How do you see the Arsenal doing in this game?
I'm really excited for it, actually. I think I'm really excited for it. I think overall, looking at both teams, the way that Arsenal have had their run of form, their run of games going into this game against Liverpool, and Liverpool kind of had a little stumbling block against West Ham. That 3-2 loss to West Ham was really, really, really a big blow to Liverpool. They tried to come back into it, but I think West Ham were just stubborn, and Moyes set up the team well. So I think Arsenal, I don't know what, I think Arsenal got a good chance going up to Anfield. I think after the international break, maybe that momentum has slowed down after the international break. Maybe it's caused a little bit of a stumbling block. But overall, I think Arsenal definitely have a good chance of getting a point, maybe even 3 at Anfield. I think the defense of Liverpool are looking a bit shaky at the moment. They can play really well, of course. We know that Van Dijk is a super defensive monster. But overall, I think when you look at Arsenal's front 3 and Emile Smith-Rowe, Aubameyang, Saka, and Co, I think they're going to cause definitely a lot of problems for Liverpool. 100%.
Yeah, what's your making of Smith-Rowe? He's like, I think he's been, how would I say? I wouldn't say outstanding, but he's been really, really like top class. I think, why not say he has been out? I think there's more to come from him. I think, I love watching him play, Dave. What do you see it from a neutral point of view?
Such an absolute baller. What an amazing, amazing player. Good balance, dribbling ability, creative ability as well, and can score goals. And I think Arsenal have been crying out, like you've said many times, for a midfielder that can score goals from the likes of Ramsey. Yeah. I think when you look at it in general across the team, you have to say that he fits into the mold pretty well. He does fit into the mold pretty well. When you have players that can just run in behind defenses with huge amounts of pace. And obviously Aubameyang's lacking pace over recent years, but still can have a turn of pace regardless against any defender, will scare any defender. And Lacazette just sitting in behind, doing the Bergkamp role and feeding in Aubameyang. I think Emile Smith-Rowe just fits into that mold nicely, just behind them. With players like Saka, I think Saka definitely needs to pay. Saka's the only one, I think, tomorrow, if they're fielding Robertson, on the weekend, I think Saka is going to cause him so many problems that Liverpool actually need to find something to stop him, because he's quick agility. He can run past players very easily and cause a lot of problems down the flanks for Liverpool.
Yeah, I like that about Saka. I like the way he just glides past players. He does it like with ease. It's not an easy thing to beat a player at any level. If you play at any level, to beat a player. But he makes it look easy. And that's what I like about him. He can cut inside right, can cut inside. And I think that's the difference between him and, say, Pepe, where Pepe's just like cuts in and goes inside all the time. Saka can go both ways, and I really like that, So I have to say I've been excited to watch the youngsters develop at this moment in time. You look at Ramsdale, obviously, he's getting a lot of headlines, and deservedly so. But I'm liking the passion of our younger players. I'm liking the passion of Smith-Rowe and Saka when they score, and also Tavares has come in and been a monster down the left hand side. Absolute beast of a player. I've really, really been impressed with him. It'd be interesting tomorrow to see. Tomorrow, you've got me at it now, on the weekend.
Yeah, we're thinking it's tomorrow. All of it.
Yeah, it's been like a Friday today. It's been a long day, isn't it? But what I see of that's going to be an interesting one. What Arteta does on Saturday, because I think that Tierney's had 2 games now, 2 90-minute games under his belt. We'll be looking to say that he's fit. But I don't think you can drop Tavares. I really don't. I think he's been brilliant in there, So it'd be really, really interesting what he does there, As Lone Star London says there, Saka may have to do a lot of defending tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so as well. I was
I think he may have to, but he can play. He's played at left back before. He has quite that good defensive side of it, So I think that maybe he could go in there, Interesting point there that knows Xhaka. Now Xhaka's back in full training. Could he be making a surprise early return?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's available, but he's back in training. I know he was out in Dubai doing a lot of training. So and there was pictures of him kicking the ball and everything like that. So he's very close. He must be close now.
I'm looking at it across the match and seeing what is Arteta's tactic across the match against Liverpool. Is it to sit deep and counter attack? With most teams do against Liverpool, because Liverpool maintain the ball really well, but sometimes Liverpool can play at a really frantic pace. You see it sometimes where they play at a really frantic pace. You saw it in the first leg against Atletico Madrid. It was literally back and forth, back and forth. Nobody knew what was going on in that match. So is Arsenal a team on the weekend going to sit back and let Liverpool play, or are they going to take it to them? What would you like to see, Lee? Would you like to see Arsenal take it to them, or sit back and try and play on the counter?
No, I a little bit of both, but I think that we've got to be looking to defend properly, defend deep, frustrate them. Dave, frustrate the hell out of them. And I think that if it gets into that 70-minute mark and we're still level, I think then I fancy us to maybe get something from the game, because they may have to take a few more risks than what they normally would do, and we've got players that can pick them off. What's happened in the past is we just give them bloody cheap goals. That's what I'll be furious if we give them a cheap goal. Let's make them really work hard for their goals, and I don't think that we've done that too many times for them. So I think that we need to frustrate them, dig in deep, defend properly, a little bit like we did. Do you remember in the Community Shield when we drew 1-1 with them at Wembley? Yeah. We defended deep, we got the goal, tried to frustrate them, they got a goal in the end, and that's the sort of performance that we need. Listen, if we can come out with a draw in this game, Dave, I'll be more than happy with it. Even at this moment in time, I'd take a draw. That would be a very, very good point for us, I have to say. But I think that you are right on this one. I'm not. Listen, I'm a little bit miffed when people are saying, "Oh, this is the test for Mikel. This is the one," and all that. This ain't a test for Mikel. You can't put this up there as a test. What it is a yardstick to see where we are. Nothing more than that, as far as I'm concerned. I'm looking at it and let's see what we can do and seeing where we are. And for that, I think we've got to look. Mikel gets a free hit at this one, as far as I'm concerned. You go out there
and give it your all.
System and give it your all. Yeah, set up a system that you think that might work against them. Listen, I think that Liverpool, people are sort of chomping on the bit of because they got beat by West Ham and they obviously drew with Brighton. But then I look at the game against Liverpool, against Man United, and also the game against Atletico Madrid, two, the supposedly better sides. They ripped them apart. They really did. If they put in that sort of performance, Liverpool, and we allow them to have that sort of performance,
exactly,
that they will run out easy winners. I don't really understand the tactics, what Man United were doing in that game. If I'll be honest, I thought that they was all over the shop. So I'd like to look at it and think that we'd have a little bit more tactical nous in our game.
Yeah, I've put a poll up for everybody to take part in. Obviously, everybody can get involved in the chat. What tactic would you like to see Arteta deploy? Obviously, we mentioned it just now. Would you like to see Arsenal just take it to them, go on the front foot, maintain ball possession, try and get, obviously, the early goal, which is going to be all important in Anfield, or sit back, counter, wait for things to develop and see where Arsenal can develop in that? So everybody take part in the poll and let us know your thoughts. Next thing, we got a super chat from Che Chanya Cal. Thank you very much for your super chat. Thank you very much for the $5 donation. If Lokonga starts his performance is going to be critical. Liverpool like to run and press from the right. Lokonga and Emil Smith-Rowe need to cut that press. 100%, of course. I mean, when you look at Liverpool's game, and Che Chan hit it nail on the head there, their pressing game sometimes can be outstandingly.
Yeah.
You can't hold the ball for 4 passes, because Salah, Mane, the obviously the midfield, they just literally push you so far up the pitch. Their defenders are sitting on the halfway line. If Arsenal can somehow get in behind that,
beat that press, then they're in.
Exactly, beat the press and see how they can develop in that. And I think West Ham, I think somebody put it in earlier. I think it was somebody said that West Ham nullified Salah to some certain extent, and he is the man that Arsenal need to contain. There's no question about it. Salah is, without doubt, one of the top 3 players in the world right now, without question,
without a shadow of a doubt, without
a shadow of any doubt. And if Salah is not nullified and Arsenal allow him to play his game, cutting in on his left foot, unleashing some dangerous shots against Ramsdale, Arsenal are going to have some problems.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
As Lone Star London just said in the chat there, like Liverpool have scored 31 goals in 11 Premier League games so far this season. Yeah. Salah's got 10 goals in his last 11 games.
It's ridiculous. Statistics don't lie at all.
No. So, we've got to somehow nullify the threat of that. And I don't think you can really stop him playing. I think what you've got to try and do is stop his supply.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the game will be won or lost. Listen, if you stop him, they've got bloody Jota. If you stop Jota, they've got Mane.
Yeah.
They've got like Richard Sant. Their fullbacks are very, very good. Where are Liverpool weak? That is the thing. And I think you struggle a little bit to find where they are weak, but set pieces is not their greatest.
Their strongest is exactly. So, and Arsenal have been those corners that they're putting into the box
very, very good on
recently have been very, very good. And watching Arsenal play, I think when Trent and obviously when both their fullbacks just start flying up the pitch, there's 2 gaps down either side that I think Arsenal...
and that's where you got to counter-attack them.
I think Arsenal can definitely get out of them there and leave Van Dijk and whoever's partnering Van Dijk on the day, leave them isolated and see what they can do.
That's what Liverpool do very, very well. Their fullbacks bomb on Robinson, who I think there's a doubt about him, but and Trent will go, and they have the confidence to say, right, it may be 1 against 2, 2 against 2. Van Dijk can handle it, and he can. You know what I mean? Like the one time against West Ham, he couldn't. Was when Bowen went through. Like, do you know what I mean? But you've got to hope that Van Dijk just ain't quite on his game. If he's not quite on his game, then there's a chance. If he's on his game, you know what I mean, he's just brush our boys aside. But I tell you one thing that defenders do not like, and that is pace at them, right? You know what I mean? So we've got to be direct and quick.
Yeah, Oba's got to be just getting behind them and try and get it. But in the meantime, we do have a Grizz joining us. Let me just invite him in. Grizz, how you doing?
Evening, fellas. How you doing?
Hey, how are we doing? You all right, Grizz?
Hi, everybody, mate. Nice one. Thanks for having me on.
Well, first of all, apologies because you're supposed to have been on with Kevin Campbell, but Dave's messed up big time.
It's not a problem, man. You guys are just as, if not more handsome than Kevin.
No, well, of course, him being an ex-Everton, you could have given him a bit of stick today, like.
That's what I was hoping for, but never mind.
Yeah. Exactly, like, So, but it's lovely to have you on. We've just been talking about Liverpool. My first question to you, Grizz, and I'm going to ask you from an Arsenal point of view. What is your feelings about Arsenal at this moment in time? Do you feel that we're a different animal going into this game, or are you still confident that you're going to brush us aside like you have done in the past?
Yeah, look, I've been saying it all week, and I know you guys are an Arsenal channel, but I have to speak my mind and say with my heart. If you ever if I ever could choose a team to come to Anfield after a defeat to make us look good again or get in form again, it will be Arsenal of the past. Right? I've said it many
great
times.
point. Great point.
Arsenal come to Anfield, get the crowd in early, especially under the lights, get an early goal, and you usually crumble. But I've said it all week. This is the first time I can remember that you haven't got a weakness in defense. When I say weakness, I mean individually. So you may have collectively been quite good or sound defensively. You feel as though you're good, but you always had a Bellerin or a Kolasinac or a Holding or a Mustafi, who are, you guys will admit, prone to fucking individual errors every single game near enough. And we always knew that. From what I've seen of you guys, and I've like some people say Arsenal my second team. They probably are, because I got a lot of respect for them, right? But I've been impressed with every single one of your defenders. Like Tommy Yasu's been a revelation. Not many people know about him. Spurs wanted him. I can't remember the other team that wanted him. You've got him. He looks solid acquisition. He doesn't bomb on like Bellerin. He plays like a third centre back, doesn't he? And he's solidified your defense. I've always rated Ben White. Ben White, the only problem with Ben White was the price. Apart from that, I think he's a very good young defender. Gabriel's been impressive. And Tierney's my favorite left back after Robertson in the world. Like I love Kieran Tierney. I know he might not play because Tavares is doing well. I'll be shocked if Tierney doesn't play. And Ramsdale, I hold my hands up. Absolutely, I thought he was a shocking signing. But he's proven a lot of people wrong. So it's the first time that you're coming to Anfield, and I'm not going to go into the rest of the team yet, unless you want me to. But as the four individuals go, I genuinely think they're the strongest individuals four that I can remember coming to Anfield last few seasons. I genuinely believe that.
Great point. Because I've said that as well. I said, look, I think that, to say like we're going to come up to Anfield and win and everything like that is very, very optimistic. But what I am saying is that I'm optimistic for the first time. I think we defensively are a lot sounder, and I don't think that we, touch wood, that we're going to give away silly goals like we have in the past. As you quite rightly said, it's the last time that we went up there when the fans were there. Maitland-Niles scored after about 10 minutes, if you remember. But we hadn't stopped celebrating, and it was 1-1, and then within 2 minutes of that, we were 2-1 down. That's when you got to defend, you got to defend. When it and when you're away from home, as you well know, Grizz, you're going to get put on it. It's going to be put on you, and you've got to be able to defend it and make sure that you do. And I think that's that could be a key, from there. We've spoken about defensively with Liverpool. What partnership do you think they're going to go with at the back there? With Van Dijk, obviously, shooting in every game, he's fantastic. But who he doesn't really seem to have what I would say, like with Ben White and Gabriel, it's a constant partnership. But he's not quite had that, has he, this season?
Yeah, look, we've tried to what's the word? Like nurture Van Dijk back after his injury and tried to sort of rest him if we can, when we can, but we can't rely on him because Gomez is out now as well. Matip's been his most reliable partner. But then Konate, because we paid 40 million odd for him, we needed to give him some experience as well. So tomorrow, it will probably be Matip, not tomorrow, Saturday. It will definitely be Matip because especially he's had the couple of weeks off as well. He hasn't gone on international duty, so he's had a nice rest. I genuinely think it'd be Matip. And I just before I logged on, I was in the background and I heard you talk about weaknesses, and that's a lot of people are talking about sort of because Van Dijk's not 100% yet. That is a possible weakness, and especially as you guys were talking about. I don't want to nick your points, but it's true. The way our fullbacks play, normally we know Van Dijk and Matip are unbeatable one-on-one.
Yeah.
So we normally don't give a shit about our fullbacks going flying forward. This season, because they're coming back from season-ending injuries, you've got to remember Matip missed the last 6 months as well, and Van Dijk missed the whole season. People forget that. People only remember that Virgil van Dijk's been out for a year.
Yeah.
Matip missed the last 6 months. So because both of them have come back, after long-term injuries, teams are finding that on the transition, on the counter, we're a bit more vulnerable. And in Aubameyang and Saka and Smith Rowe, again, there's something for you guys to work on if you can get enough ball to counter us.
Yeah, and that was what Bowen did, didn't he? I noticed that goal. You know, I think you're right what you're saying. A year ago, I think Van Dijk would have mopped it up, but he just couldn't quite get there. That's a great point. Did Van Dijk play for Holland in the week?
Yeah, he's ever present. He's played every game for them since he's come back because obviously he missed the Euros. And they're kind of making up for lost time, like, do you know what I mean? They're making him play every single minute. So yeah, he's played every single minute for them, even though he should be on a high because they're qualified. But he's not been brilliantly. He's not been his mercurial best. Is 75%. Now most people will say that 75% Virgil is better than most.
Yeah, most defenders. Yeah,
but the difference being Klopp hasn't adjusted the rest of the team accordingly. Do you know what I mean? We're still playing that everyone bombing forward.
High intensity, yeah.
Because we know Virgil try taking one-on-one. Yeah. But this season it's not quite that.
Do you think West Ham found that out? Do you think West Ham exposed
West Ham played on it? Do you know what? West Ham played a different game. West Ham, like Brighton took points off us because they watched the way City played against us, which was without any striker, flood the midfield and give our centre-backs nothing to mark. So Virgil and Matip had no one to mark. It was Konate they did actually. And Brighton are a very good technical team, man.
Yeah, they are.
They, Graham Potter's gone playing some serious football. So they kept the ball away from us. And it worked a treat. West Ham played the physical approach against us. Now, when we're at our best, we can mess with you physically. If you want to play football against us, attack us, we can beat you footballing wise as well. But West Ham took advantage of our physicality, lackness of physicality, because when we haven't got, when we're not on it, you can get us physically and set pieces. And the only thing is, I don't know how Arsenal which route Arsenal gonna take, because you're not overly physical, and you've been playing with two up front. So that's the only thing, a dilemma I'm trying to work out. Are you still going to play two up front? Because if you do, that's going to leave you a bit empty in midfield.
It's going to be tough, yeah. It's going to be tough.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I definitely think
what do you think?
I think if I'm looking at it across the match, first 25 minutes is going to be key. You're going to assess both teams in the first 25 minutes. That is literally 20 minutes. Somebody mentioned it in the comments. I think they just said if Arsenal survive in the first 20 minutes, they have a chance. I think Liverpool are going to go gung-ho in literally start to at least the about halfway through the first half. Because if they don't, and they don't get that early goal, with time, that high intensity will play into Arsenal's hands. And later on in the game, I think Arsenal could have a chance maybe to nick it or do anything at all to cause Liverpool another upset. You see? So for me, looking at it, and Grizz, you perfectly said it, and we mentioned it earlier with the fullbacks bombing up and them relying on either Matip and Van Dijk to deal with a constant threat from Aubameyang, Lacazette, Smith Rowe, Saka. I don't think so. I think that's going to be very tough for just two defenders if Trent Alexander-Arnold is always up there at the front, literally relying on, Salah's brilliance, relying on obviously Mane's dribbling ability, everything, to create a few chances or whatever. Jota, and if I'm looking at it, the first 20 minutes, first half of the first half is going to be very crucial to both
and there's
teams.
No doubt about it.
We're going to assess it in that early stages of the game.
100%, because there's no way we're gonna start slow. Like I literally was saying it just on a show I was on earlier, and I think a lot of them are in your chat now. Big Six raid going on. Big up all the
just to say that a lot of them from the Big Six.
I think Turkish sent them over.
Yeah, top guy Turkish. So thanks for that. Big up the Big Six. Exactly. Great show.
I literally said it. We're not gonna. I know some Arsenal fans, and I don't know how you guys feel, might think it's a good time to play us. like after we got beat by West Ham and dropped points against Brighton, I genuinely think, lads, it's a bad time to play us because we're going to be so up for it. Like,
yeah, that's what I was about to say that as well. After the defeat from West Ham, that's when you catch Liverpool at their worst.
Yeah.
Can I ask that question, though, Chris? How would you be feeling after 70 minutes if it's still 0-0 or level? Would you start being a little after dropping points?
Absolutely. Dave made a very good point, because if you stay in there, if you somehow manage to weather that first half storm, then anything can happen. Because
do you think like the fans will get a little bit nervy?
Yeah, only because of based on the last two results.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like based on the last two games.
Not normally, because we stay with them until the 95th minute. We know we can score any time, and how many times have we done that? Score in the last couple of minutes. But based on the last two results where we've dropped points, and in a league where every fucking point's mad, we can't afford to be dropping any more points. The crowd, there's going to be a bit of tension in the players, because, as I said, not all of them are in great form, but it's that first 30 minutes. Like, I genuinely think, I don't know how you guys are going to set up, because I've been chatting to so many Arsenal fans this week, and even the Arsenal fans not sure.
No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, just not sure how you're going to set up. Like,
I think we could go with a back three. I think we could put Tierney in there. So I don't know. I don't really know.
Very good point. Because how do you drop Tierney after the performances? I know he got injured and then he got out of the team, but Tavares has been brilliant. But do you really think that he's going to risk Tavares, who's more adventurous, against Mo in the form he's in? Like, Tierney's more reliable and solid. I'd be shocked if he doesn't play Tierney. That's me.
It's a difficult one.
I'm on Tavares. I think Tavares would do much better. Before we just go into that, before we go into that, sorry, we just have a little quick super chat from Stephen. This Arsenal team has the right players in the squad to compete. If they keep that lineup on Saturday, then they may give us a run for their money. So we're talking about Tierney, we're talking about Tavares, who's going to start. And I'll let you carry on, Grizz. I'm just going to put poll up, guys, in the chat, so everybody can see who would they want to start. But yeah, go ahead, Grizz. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, from what I've seen of Tavares, he's a very adventurous fullback. Like, you know, he likes going forward. A lot of Arsenal fans talk about him bringing something different to the attacking side of things. Very much like our Greek scouser, Tsimikas. Robertson obviously is the fans' favourite. Robertson has been world class for the last few seasons, but he's had a slight dip in form. And every time Tsimikas has stepped in, very much like Tavares for you guys, he's given a different dimension to our attacking play. Now, I just think, will Arteta be brave enough to play him against our strongest side? Because Trent, Henderson, and Salah is going to be where all the pressure is going to be coming in on you guys again and again and again. And if he plays Tavares, that would be a big thumbs up to Tavares if he believes in the kid over Tierney.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think that, you know, if he was to start Tavares, I think that he should, because I you know, the one thing I like about him is he's got pace and he's got power. And if you're gonna counter attack Mo Salah, that's what you got to do. You know, give him a physical ride. And just like Robinson, with you guys, Tierney's just dropped that little bit of form as well. Like,
has he?
I don't know why, whether it was to do with the Euros or whatever. Like, a lot of players have come back from the Euros not quite at it. So, yeah, but I think he'd be a little bit disappointed if he's not. But I think that's an interesting matchup. Interesting what Arsenal do on that side of the field, really, there. Like, you know.
Yeah, and obviously, Rye 24 has pretty much resonated what we've been saying in the first, obviously, 25, 30 minutes. Lead Judges, big up to yourself and your channel. Subscribed a while ago. Arsenal, thank you very much. Ryan, thank you for kind donation. Arsenal have to keep it tight for the first 25 to 30 minutes and just stay in the game, as well as being clinical and ruthless up front. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're not going to get many chances. And if you manage to put the 2-3 away, that'll give a boost to your defense, that all the work we're putting in is not going to go to waste. Because if you start missing chances, it's going to emanate through the rest of your team. And then it's a matter of time before we score, because we'll keep knocking on the door. probably
100%.
for 90 minutes. So, but if you can manage to get a goal, like I know you scored early last season. Was it last season? No,
The season before.
Season before when well, there's a bit of a mix up between Robertson and someone and Maitland-Niles scored. We just bombarded you for the next 15, 20 minutes, and you couldn't.
I think it's 4-1 at half time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but your chief tormentor, Bobby Firmino, is out. So you know he usually turns up against Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So we have got a few squaddies missing, but no excuses. We're going to have a very strong team. I tell you that, guys, for a fact.
Who's going to be in the midfield? You know,
we're going to have our strongest midfield, lads. I'm sorry to break it to you. We're probably going to have our A midfield, the one that we've been waiting for ages, like Fabinho, Henderson, and Thiago. Like they very rarely play together because of injuries. One of them's always injured, and they've only played like 3-4 games together since we bought Thiago. Unfortunately, literally only 3-4 games. But the 3-4 games they've played, they're
all fit and available.
Slight doubt about Hendo, but he'll be fine.
I think watching obviously Thiago over the years and so forth, everybody calls him an underachiever in the Liverpool. I still say he's got a lot to give in the team. I think Thiago is an excellent player. Excellent player, such a brilliant mind, football. But you know, he's not been the best, obviously, for Liverpool. But I think with a few gaps in the midfield, it depends on Arsenal and how they line up in the midfield itself. Who's going to win the midfield battle? Thiago gives that extra edge to Liverpool to win that midfield battle. Even if it is a sideway pass, even it's just holding that possession a little bit longer, waiting for the gaps to be exposed, and then one killer ball, done.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
I think Thiago. I think it's pretty fair what you said, but a lot of context needs to be put on Thiago's time at Liverpool so far. So look, he arrives right on the back of we've just near enough been unbeatable for this preseason, like the season before, because we won the league. And then he's come into Liverpool and his legs been taken apart in the second game.
Yeah, terrible tackle. I remember that.
Right, so we all remember that tackle from Richarlison. So he's out for about 5 months. Comes back, gets COVID. So comes back, goes start season. But he showed his true colours when we needed it. The very, very most, right at the end, when we needed to win to get into top 4. We were languishing 10 points behind the 4th place team with 10 games to go. And I'm telling you guys, Thiago played every single game and ran every single game. And that's the sign of a fucking great player. When you need him, he rises to the top. So he had 6 months to settle in. Injuries, as I said, he picked up 2 injuries. COVID as well. And then last 10 games, people underrate his performances in that last 10 games because no one thought Liverpool were going to get 3rd. Never mind 3rd, 4th even. But he was pivotal, like with our 7th, 8th choice centre backs behind him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As I said, every time he's played with Fabinho alongside him, he's looked a different player.
Yeah.
So
I think he's a tremendous player. I think he keeps the ball moving quickly, keeps Liverpool ticking over, and I think maybe the Premier League and everything didn't suit him at first, as you said, and injuries and all that. But I think he's a terrific player, and that really, I think Arsenal. I don't know. And there's rumours that Partey's not going to be fit. We need Partey in there to stifle that. We need our best 3 in there. And if we can't, we've got to get legs around him. The one thing I would question Thiago is his legs.
Yeah,
in and around.
That's a fair point.
And if we can get someone there like Lokonga, not bullying him, but like getting in and around him, that could help. So that'd be.
Partey's fit. Apparently, Partey is definitely fit.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing as well.
Huge boost for you guys.
Yeah, that is a huge boost, and that is that is a good thing. And people saying in the chat, Partey is fit now. So I think that is that's a good one. Harry's in the chat there. Partey. Harry, our journalist, is saying.
Yeah. Shout out to Harry.
We also
thank you, Harry.
We also have a super £20 donation. Thank you very much to the one and only Skullfuggery. Welcome to the chat again. Big up the judge. 1 London pie on me, big man. Grizz Teta. astute as always, but no milk and donuts after this weekend, my man.
Fair
Self
enough.
agree. Always love your content, mate. Really good stuff, and thank you for joining the chat.
I'll have that pie as well, like I mean, I'll have that pie. Like,
You'll have that pie.
Pie, like,
and you're heading up to Liverpool. You're heading to Anfield, isn't it?
I'm going. Like, I shall be up there. Like, love Liverpool. Love Anfield. And I've always had a lot of respect for Liverpool all through the years. You know, growing up as a kid, they were the best team by far. But they were always a proper football club, proper fans.
Do you know what? I'm not even gassing because I'm on your channel and it's an Arsenal chat. But people in the chat will know. That's why they call me Grizz, right? Because I've always got a soft spot for like Arteta and Arsenal.
For Mr. Arteta, yeah.
But it's true though, because I literally said it and I wound up. A couple of the Chelsea and City lads were in the show as well, and I was like, "Say what you want about them. They're still bigger than your two clubs. Like, yeah, they've gone through a crazy rough patch." But they're one of the institutions of this, the biggest institution. Do you know what I mean? Say what you want about them. The last 10 years or whatever, yeah, they've lost, ground on your sort of oil-rich clubs and whatnot. You know, it is what it is. But and as I said, and as you said, Lee, I grew up watching Henry and Wenger days. I was like the best brand of football this country's seen. Like, I still say it. That team is still, in my opinion, underrated. Like, everyone talk about City. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. City are a joy to watch under Pep. But that was the original total football team.
The thing with that, Grizz, is we didn't, and I don't mean this democracy when I say like this, we didn't buy it. We had to, we had to unfight, unearth gems.
Lee, you've done it very similarly to how Liverpool have done it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where the mutual respect comes from.
Yeah, I think it does. You know what I mean? Like, and listen, going back through the years, Anfield's always been a tremendous place to go and watch football. And the Cop, I was talking to a couple of Liverpool fans what it was like back, when it was standing only. It was, sensational. So it's always a great place to go, Liverpool. But listen, we're coming to the end, of the show. Oh, this has gone quick, Dave. You know what I mean? So
nearly, yeah, exactly. Big up to the Big Six, obviously. Everybody who done the Big Six raid here, great. Thank you for joining.
Yeah,
it's amazing. One more thing I wanted to ask before we sign off, so we can just round this up. Anfield's atmosphere. Do you think that will play a massive part into Liverpool's hands?
Do you want me to say it or Lee?
Both of you.
I'll go first. Anfield's atmosphere is not like it used to be, and that's nothing to do with Liverpool and all that. It's just the all-seater stadium and everything like that. It has lost its little bit of intimidation, whatever. It's still a fantastic atmosphere when that walk alone goes.
You never walk alone, yeah.
But ultimately, just like most grounds, it's not as vocal as it used to be. It's still very vocal, though.
Yeah, look, as I was speaking to a lot of Arsenal fans as well this week, and I was like, I genuinely think you're unlucky with the timing of it. Like, not only after we got smashed by West Ham, but it's a night game. Well, near enough, 5:30. The lights are going to be on.
Yeah, we call it a night game.
Yeah, the floodlights are going to be on, and I think the atmosphere is going to be very vocal because obviously we're a wounded animal. And very rarely does Klopp let his team drop points 3 games in a row. Do you know what I mean? So I just think, it could be tasty, lads. I'm not going to lie. I think it could be a tasty opening 30 minutes for you lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Right, one more super chat, Dave. Read that one out, and then we get the predictions, and then we're out. Right,
So Cliff just said, all this misguided confidence, the back four will put up a valiant effort, but the pressure will be too much and Mikel won't know how to cope. 1-3. So he's put a prediction.
1-3 means Arsenal then, because
that means Arsenal? Yeah, because Arsenal are away team. So
we'll take that.
We'll take that. Yeah, go on. I could start off with the predictions. I think I'm gonna go 2-1 Liverpool. So 2 Liverpool and 1 to the Arsenal. I think it's going to be a tight game, but it's going to be a very exciting game.
100%.
So tight, but exciting. Okay, or it could easily go massively wrong and Arsenal will get pumped like 4-0. But I'm just going to I'm going to stick 2-1. I'm going to stick 2-1.
I was going to say, I changed my prediction. I'm not going to lie. I said 3-0 on Turkish channel earlier on. But then I changed it on the Big Six, 3-1. And I think 3-1 because of the fact that we're not as solid as normal. And then, Smith Rowe's been sensational, and Saka and Aubameyang's looks in a bit of form as well. So with Partey definitely playing, I'll go 3-1. Liverpool, that is.
Lee?
No, I'm with you, Dave. I think that we give it a real good effort and it'll be a gallant effort. And I think that Liverpool will nick it 2-1. But I think that we're going to scare them. And do you know what? Where we are and where we are at this moment in time, I'll be disappointed if we lose the game, of course. But if we put in a performance and we scare Liverpool, give them a few worries, I'm going to take that. And say, right, we can build for the future on that, because this game doesn't define where we're going to end up as far as the top 4 or wherever we're going to go. If we win this game, it'll be unbelievable. But I think in the context of the game and everything that we need to put in a performance. And I want to see us go there and scare Liverpool. And listen, Brighton went there and scared them for a little, so I'm not saying that because it's Brighton, I don't know, but I think that we will give them a real bloody good game, but we just come up short. Do you know why? Because they're a better team.
Cool. Well, we can leave it on that.
We can leave it on that night. Grizz, thanks for joining us. Much appreciated. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Thanks for the boys from the Six jumping over and having a
big on the Big Six.
Much appreciated. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Thanks for the super chats and everything like that. And listen. Enjoy your weekend. All those Arsenal fans travelling up to Liverpool, safe journey up there. Get behind the team. Let's give it as much as they do in the COP. And let's hope that Arsenal get the result. But all in all, let's hope you all have a good weekend and stay safe.